And these lights here glowing up against the water look so realistic. Look at that. Absolutely spot on, that. Hello Flight Simulator fans, welcome back to another Practically Geek video. Today we're looking at a payware scenery, a payware airport, and I've had to reshuffle these because I was going through Orbex and what happened was something appeared. Well, it was already there and apparently it has been there for a couple of days now. I completely missed it. It was actually my local airport, which is Liverpool, so it's a EGGP. Based in the northwest of England, and the airport in default, I've already obviously been there and done a couple of flights as soon as I got the flight simulator. It's not great. It's the autogen buildings again aren't the best placed. Sorry, they're not too badly placed in terms of sort of where they are in the actual real airport, but they don't look great. They don't look similar height, etc. So this is actually from Digital Designs, and this is available in P3D and FSX, so it is available for all. And I think if you already have it for particular other flight simulators, that they give you a bit of a discount. This firefight is causing me a bit of concern, and there's another one, so there must be some kind of emergency going on here. What's going on? Anyway, so we're just stood in front of the Piper PA44, and as always we're going to be going up into the air, taking a look around the default scenery, not spending too much time in the default scenery, just to give you a good look at what it looks like. If you obviously have flown out or regular flights from Liverpool, or in fact you do live in Liverpool like myself, you'll kind of see what I mean about it not being the greatest one. That being said, Asobo have said in their UK update due at the end of January that Liverpool Airport will be getting a handcrafted version, so it will be very interesting to see how Digital Designs and the handcrafted Asobo version sort of go up head to head against each other. I will be doing a video of that, of course, just to show you what it looks like, but for now we'll check out the Digital Designs version of Liverpool Airport. It costs £13 and you can get it from Sim Marketplace, I believe it's on. It's also available on the Orbex Central. I believe it isn't available on the official marketplace just yet, but people have been asking about that, and it will be getting released on there. As I say, it's £13, so it's decent, and I've seen the pictures. The pictures are super impressive. They really look. It looks almost real life, photorealistic at points. Liverpool Airport itself features just one single concrete runway, which is around 2,200 meters and 46 meters wide. Runway 27, coming off from sort of the main shoreline of the River Mersey, and runway 09 is a exciting approach just over sort of the Wirral and Chester area, right over the River Mersey, which depending on the weather it's kind of bumpy, and I've done a few of those in real life coming back from Prague, so they're fun. The other side of the airfield, it's all based on one side. In real life you would have the new control tower just over this point here, which isn't modelled in the simulator as default at all. There's no control tower at all. This side you have the Raven Air and the General Aviation Apron, and that's where I'm parked here. These two buildings look completely different, but they are placed correctly. There is also a newer building here, which is a flight training school, and then this building in between trees, which the trees are there but there's not as many. This is, you can actually probably already tell, this is where the TNT delivery service are based in, just outside the airport, and you can see the satellite imagery of the trucks there. The main terminal, as we come along here, this is all a massive big car park, which again you can see in the 2D scenery, the satellite imagery. It just looks awful at the minute. You have this big massive open concrete slab, and then we have, what I can tell you is when the sort of the buses in Liverpool come along, they'll come along this road here. There is a bridge, but it's not that high, it doesn't go up in the air. and you come along and then into the terminal. So they've mapped it out, except you'll get these bungalow type style brick English type houses, which are just actually sort of temporary units, or they're units, small, like chalet units, and they don't look anything like that at all. Moving along here, the main terminal with the Hilton Hotel just on the right here, which again doesn't look anything like that. And the main terminal again doesn't look like that, but it does resemble some kind of airport terminal, which is, it's not always the case with the Asobo default scenery. So this is the main apron at Liverpool Airport. All this is glass windows, and then we have we don't have any jetways at all. We have small kind of, you need to go along them and then down onto the tarmac and then onto the plane. So no fancy jetways that connect to the plane at Liverpool. These are actually probably the most spot on they've got it with the AutoGen buildings. These are actually all hangars along here, so they haven't got that wrong, and that looks decent. Actually, it looks real, except it's painted in a different way, and you know, this lit bit isn't sort of detached from the main terminal, so that's a bit wrong. There are jetways, but then again they're not connected to the plane. They just you just walk down them, so they're kind of mock jetways. And this apron here is usually where the EasyJet planes park. It's their kind of side of the terminal. Moving along the aprons, and the aprons on the runway and the default scenery look pretty good. They're not too bad at all, to be honest with you. Moving along, this is usually where the remaining EasyJet planes park, and then Ryanair will take up the rest of the apron here. Along this side of Liverpool Airport, there is different things like Royal Mail, I believe, were there, maybe still there, but they've got some buildings here, and then a couple of more staff buildings, and then entrance to private jets to for people to come through security and quickly onto their plane. So there is that building there as well. Again, another massive big empty car park, which definitely is a car park, I can tell you that. I've parked in there before. And then moving along at Liverpool, there is more bits of apron where sort of charter big jets. Sometimes we do get some big charter planes at Liverpool, and they would usually sit here because there's a bit more space for them. And then over here is where they do the training for the plane fire, planes on fire, stuff like that, and they have like the fake plane just there. The aprons are pretty much spot on as well. The lights going into the Mersey are there, but they're not as pronounced as I'd like. You can see them, they kind of pop in a lot. And a fun little fact here, this apron that seems to cut off there actually used to run to the old Speak Airport, which I believe, looking at the photo, Digital Designs have actually included a lot of surrounding buildings, buildings that in some cases are a good few miles away. So that's, I don't think Asobo will be doing that with their handcrafted version, but we'll see, won't we? This apron used to connect to Speak Airport, which is the old airport, which again I believe they've added in. And then when the new airport was open, they could use the new runway, and then sort of the transition from using the old airport to the new one was actually quite good. So again, the only thing I would say is the full scenery looks, the aprons in the runway look probably the best out of a lot of it, to be honest with you. The buildings are placed right, but they're not good. Compared to others, I'd say probably the sort of the airport type looking buildings of the auto generated scenery is okay. It's got it right a bit better than sort of putting houses in and stuff, but again, that has happened just near the car park over there. So what we'll do is we'll go into the Digital Designs version of Liverpool Airport, and we'll have a good look at what they've been able to do, and we'll go back to the General Aviation Park, where hopefully you'll see a massive difference in the scenery. Okay, so we're back at the general aviation stand at Liverpool Airport, and already you can probably tell in the background we have more realistic looking buildings. Certainly these are the buildings that are at Liverpool, I can tell you that. The Raven Air Flying School and the Keen Air, and this new building I was talking about before, it's actually called Skyport, I forgot that, but that's all been modelled here, so it is up to date. These apron lights are so, they just give me I'd say nostalgia. Liverpool Airport's still there. It's just, I actually used to work in the terminal, nothing to do with aviation, just in the shops. But these big apron lights with the orange and white striped two-tone going on, just it's just so good. It looks so authentic now. As I said before, they'd added in some of the surrounding buildings, so I could get rid of a few freeware files that were in my community folder, which, no disrespect, they were really good, but with this payware add-on, Digital Designs have basically added in the Runcorn Bridge, the Silver Jubilee Bridge I think it's called, not so much the Runcorn. As you can see in the background there, they've also, I think that's called Fiddler's Ferry or something like that. It's the power plants just in the background there. You can see the funnels and the Mersey Gateway Bridge as well. I won't head over there. I'll let you see that if you buy it. But the approach on runway 27, basically, as a passenger or a pilot, you will see them. You get pretty close to them on approach. Not dangerously, but you do get close to them, so you will see them. So it's good that they've taken the time to add that in. What they also did add in was the big massive Land Rover Jaguar factory just in the background, as you can see there, as well as other houses close to the airport perimeter, and it has got a perimeter fence as well, so that's really good. This road here, bringing back some memories. I used to, my mum and my granddad, and we used to drive down this road here, and we used to just sit on what is called the mound, but this road no longer exists now. They've closed off all of this road now, so I believe they have. I think they've installed new lights, so you can't actually go down there anymore. But the perimeter fence is there, and it's looking great. You know that I enjoy my perimeter fences being included in the scenery files. Also, I think they've changed the houses, so the couple of rows of houses between the airport and the estates over here and Speak have been changed to look like the real ones as well, which is pretty cool. They didn't really need to do that. The auto gem wasn't too bad. So, sticking with this side of the airport, as you can see in the background as well, we've still got those horrible new glitchy pyramids that are popping up all over the world on Flight Simulator recently. But one good thing is that they've added in the proper control tower. So this control tower, I wouldn't say it's new. It's not new, but I'll show you the older control tower, which you can just see over on the right next to the Hilton Hotel, which has been also included. But the control tower here is the real life one that they've got at Liverpool Airport. Just over to the left of the runway, you can see it's got the blue outlines, and sorry, the sort of the blue facade, if you will, I don't know, structure on the side, and obviously some static cars for the workers. It has got a simple interior, and the textures are pretty good from a certain distance. It's got a little bit of an interior, but it's not the best interior, in fact. But the control tower itself is great, and it's great to see it now available for Liverpool Airport. Heading over, we can have a look at some of the other buildings and detailing that Digital Designs have included on this payware scenery. We now have the proper TNT distribution centre, or where the lorries are, and they've included the TNT trucks as well, which is really, really nice. Again, getting up close, the texture isn't amazing, but from around this height, and probably from the distance and the height you'll see them at, it's all really great. They've also spruced up the entire car park system and added some more static cars in, which is great. It looked pretty barren, and it actually looked really bad actually, with just the whole massive big untextured car park in the middle here. But they've added in the car park lights and the, as I say, a lot of static cars. And you'll see, this is what I was talking about before, those like kind of units or huts were actually auto-gendered small little bungalow houses. But as I say, these are exactly what you see at Liverpool Airport. I think that's where sort of they have like the administration and sort of the ground crew may go for a quick bit of lunch. I'm not too sure. I've never been there in real life. The buses all come down here to enter the front of the terminal on the land side. This is I can tell you, this is actually where all the deliveries come in as well. So around the back there, and the terminal, it looks absolutely amazing, and I can say from personal experience that it looks exactly like that. All up to date as well. It was a good few years back that they didn't have this kind of this bit poking out here. In fact, that's where you go to the airside and the departure gates. And they really have done their homework, because they've got some pallets and pallet trolleys, mini forklifts, because that's where you actually do get deliveries for all the shops. The air vents and the units on the top of the building all really look great. Again, if you get a bit too close there, they're not amazingly textured, but I think this possibly might be just a spruced up port from the P3D and the FSX version of this, but I could be wrong. It looks good. They've definitely done a really good job. There's the old control tower there, and the fire engine station, which again is properly placed. That's where it is. They've even gone ahead and put some static chairs and Swissport vehicles here, because that looks like that there as well. I'm disappointed not to see any static aircraft. A few EasyJets or Ryanairs would have been good instead of having the AI traffic, but again, it's really great. I was actually wrong. I haven't been around this area, but this does have a little it's a separate building from the rest, and to be very honest, they've got the buses spot on as well, because they do actually look like the buses that are at Liverpool Airport, so that's really good as well. Some more detailed texturing and markings here. No entry, looks really good. Like from this angle here, this looks really spot on. Look at that. And this is the hangars here that I was talking to you about before. They are a bit higher, and they're all kind of different levels for different size aircraft. We've got this hangar that looks a bit like American Airlines, doesn't it? In fact, the colour for the new livery, I mean. We've got the shell vans, and we've got more of those orange and white sort of Liverpool Airport style apron lights, which I hope make the apron, I hope they're lit up at night, and will, again, as always, be taking a look at the night lighting at this scenery. Got one little static Cessna there, which again, because I know Liverpool Airport quite well, I would say that definitely wouldn't be there. That would be used for more of an EasyJet or a Ryanair, actually. Cessnas, etc. will be down on the GA ramp where I was before. Some animated Asobo ground crew. Again, this is a bit unrealistic here, but again, hopefully we'll get some updates for this scenery. You can actually see 737, A320, and A319, and then a Q400 and an ATR, because at one point Liverpool Airport did do Flybe-8s. They don't do anymore. The airside on this scenery is absolutely amazing. The yellows and the white and the texture of these car parks are a bit in your face, but again, these car parks and hotel area are kind of the newer part of the airport. I say new, they've been there for years, but the airside area looks great. Looks really good. All these white things here, these are just white bits of block concrete. I guess these are security measures. Got some static people there waiting for the buses. And all the buses are great. The Sapphire route, that would be kind of witness the Runcorn bus. That is more than likely a Liverpool city centre bus there. And all the stands are labelled up great as well for the bus stations. It's really, really great. And then the front of Liverpool Airport as well. They've added in what looks like kind of a really basic see-through, like, to make it look like it's got a bit of an interior, but it's not amazing. It looks okay. We got the Hilton there. I've actually been in there for a conference. That's really, really good. The quality of this texturing on these are like kind of glass coloured. They're really, really good actually. They're not too bad. Texturing isn't great as more that you get up close to them, but again, from here, it's really, really great. The car rental service place, the signs aren't amazingly textured, but again, we're talking about these textures like we were going to see them. You wouldn't even see them, so you didn't really need to include them. If you're just sticking inside your aircraft and not going into the external camera, you won't see them at all. Short stay car park, the pickup car park, which ripped you up about £100 ago. No, I'm kidding obviously, but it is expensive. And they've included the yellow submarine, which is amazing as well. And the taxi rank as well. The taxi rank is actually there, and that gets really, really busy on arriving planes. And it looks absolutely amazing. It really does. And they've redone all the long stay, the staff car park, which is this one right in front of us here. And they've taken the road textures all the way up until the end here. Again, that's really nice to see, all of them. Yeah, that's all. Looks really, really spot on to real life. If we head up to these outbuildings here, we can see sort of more temporary units, but they've been there for years again. Again, these are more for the private jets. You would see probably more of the smaller private Lear jets and, you know, private planes, the private jets, and that's where they come in here. And they've included the fuel pickup for the Shell trucks and fuel tanks, and they've added in the fire practice plane as well, which is great to see. Heading up, you can see scattering of buildings. That's a place called Speak Hall, which is a National Trust building. It's a house, a massive big manor house. It looks a bit more fleshed out than that, but if you go around into the back of the gardens, you get a really great plane spotting view just on the edge of this hill. There's a footpath, and you get a really great view of the planes coming in on runway 09. In fact, that's actually Speak Hall, this one here. And that does actually look like Speak Hall. It just must be an outbuilding, but that is Speak Hall there. So they have added that in. They've also added in the old Speak Airport, which is the Art Deco kind of brown brick building just in the background there. And all this area is home to the likes of B&M warehouses, the shops, the Home and Bargain warehouses. So the massive big industrial warehouse. You can actually see they've included the B&M warehouse on here as well. So they've added in a massive lot of detail, not in just including the airport, the outer perimeter as well. I would have loved to see the old aircraft being done in 3D because you can see them in the satellite imagery here, but again, they've added in the old hangars, the old terminal building, and also Speak Retail Park as well, which is great to see. Just heading over to the lights at the edge of the River Mersey, which look absolutely amazing, by the way. Better than the generic ones and the default ones that they've added. They've obviously in the default scenery. So what a picture that is. That's a really good picture. I think I'll come back here and take some screenshots. But what we're going to do is we're going to head into the night lighting, so around 1 AM as always, and check out the night lighting, which I'm hoping is really, really good on this airport, with it being my local airport. Okay, so from my initial reaction, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I think maybe those pappy lights have been brightened up a bit. They look really, really good. A bit more realistic than the default ones, but I could be wrong. And these lights here glowing up against the water look so realistic. Look at that. Absolutely spot on, that. So let's head further into the airport. All the apron lights, apron signs are all glow up against the grass, which look absolutely amazing as well. The radar and the beacon lights look spot on as well. They're illuminating all the different sort of, maybe even the ground and the trees around them. Again, spot on work there by Digital Designs. We'll head to the terminal building in just a second and take a look at the apron lights. We'll just have a look at the control tower lights just before we head over. The control tower looks really good. One of the best control towers I've seen for night lighting. So that's really, really good. If we head over to the general aviation stand where my plane is parked, we'll see what the night lighting looks like that. The night lighting in this area anyway looks amazing. We are obviously in a built up urban area, so they've added lights to the Mersey Gateway Bridge and the factory, the Land Rover Jaguar factory just in the distance there. And yeah, so these apron lights have been all illuminated, which make it look absolutely amazing. It's really, really good work for the night lighting in this airport, which I'm glad of, obviously, because I'll be doing a lot of flights out of here and around the area. Hangar lights look amazing too. Let's head up and over the trees and see what they've done with the Airside Terminal area. Disappointing to see there's no lights on the TNT factory, but they've made it look so realistic, and they haven't bothered putting any lights in. But again, I definitely can't forgive that. The car park lighting and the apron lighting is spot on as well. Really, really good. And even these sort of fake baked in lights in the old control tower look absolutely amazing as well. And look at that for lighting. That is amazing. That is so good. The Hampton Hilton light looks really great. The signage on the side of the hotel. And I have landed at night time in Liverpool, and I can say it is bright like this, so it looks really good. The lighting and the lights down on the sign of the Liverpool John Lennon Airport building. That's so good. And as you can see, those apron lights, those orange and white lights, are all lighting up the apron below them. And it looks very, very good. I think Digital Designs have done a really good job. And if it is a port, then they've done a really good job of making the port look like it should belong. The canopy here, I've walked down this a lot before as a passenger. And it looks really good as well. The glass work and everything. Especially if you do fly in Ryanair, you have to walk the length of this canopy all the way into the arrivals hall, which, oh, and they've captured that so well. They really have. It's really great to see. The fake interior as well. It looks okay, but not amazing. It looks decent enough. They haven't included any of the shops up here as like a Burger King, and it's not open like that. But you know, it's good. It's really good work. I'd like to see them sort of redo this, because even if they used a 2D image, it looked a bit better, because It doesn't resemble Liverpool, but again, it's great to see a sort of an interior included. So this video will be a bit longer because I'm going over things I've seen in real life, and I'm seeing how much they resemble the real life counterpart, and I can say that this airport does. It's definitely worth, and I was surprised about the price as well. I was expecting this to be a bit more expensive in all honesty, but as I say, it's $13.59 on Orbex right now, and I definitely recommend anyone who is doing a UK flying or is in the Northwest and you're a sim enthusiast up here in the Northwest, definitely grab this. I know it is being added, and you will see a video from me to show you what the Asobo version looks like. I can't imagine Asobo are going to be adding in as much surrounding detail like the speak hall or the factories. They may include the bridges and the power plants just off in the distance there, because they are approach landmarks, and they did say they'll add in around 50 to 60 points of interest, so they may add that. But in terms of anything else, you know, they might not even add in the Hilton Hotel into the Liverpool one, into the handcrafted Asobo one, but we'll see. And I will be checking out both of them to see what they're like, and who knows, some other payware of Liverpool Airport may release between now and the end of January. But I was so glad to see this appear on the Orbex central software, because the default scenery is absolutely awful, and it hits home if you do see the default scenery not handcrafted of a local airport that you regularly fly out of or you know well, and you look at it and you think, oh my god, it looks absolutely awful. So I was glad to see this released. If you are enjoying my YouTube videos on Flight Simulator 2020, then please consider giving me a sub. If you are enjoying them, you'll get a notification when I release any videos, and give us a like. And I've been getting some comments, and everyone's been really nice, and I've been chatting to different people on different sceneries, and it's been really great. I'm nearly up to 100 subscribers now, which again, as I said in another video, will give me that custom URL, so I can finally be YouTube / Practically Geek. So I'm looking forward to that. But honestly, I really love sharing all these different sceneries, and love jumping into Microsoft Flight Simulator most days and checking out what's new, or flying in a just completely different location. It's been really great. I won't show you any weather. I think the night lighting has done an amazing job. Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. Grab it now. It's not on offer, but £13 is more than it's you know, I'd pay. I think I'd pay nearly 20-25 for this. It's really good. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been the Digital Designs Liverpool John Lennon Airport, and I'll see you again in another video.